We now have archivable objects. In this lesson, we'll implement some persistence behavior so we can easily save and load our albums. I'll begin by creating two new methods on album, findAll and save. The findAll method will be a class method to load an array containing all of our saved albums, and save will be used to save new albums to our list. So I'll define my findAll method and define the save method. Now both of these methods are going to need to know the location of our data file within the documents directory. So let's create a private method to do that. I'll create a class method called iMusicDataURL. And just like we had in our view controller, we're defining a URL that identifies the location of that file on disk. And then in the findAll method, I'll create an instance of NSData with the contents of that URL. Now, if no data was returned, let's just simply return an instance of an NS mutable array. So if no data was returned, this means we haven't yet written the file. And then finally, I will call the NSKeyedUnarchivers unarchive object with data method. I'll go to my save implementation. So the first thing I'm going to do in the save implementation is call the findAll method. Now, despite the fact that findAll actually returns an NS array, since I have a unique vantage point and can see the internals that this is actually returning an NS mutable array, I can safely cast that as a mutable type. I'll then insert a reference to self at index 0. So as I add new albums to this list, I want them to always show up at the top of that list. I'll then call NSKeyedArchivers archive data with a root object, and then finally write that file data to the iMusicData URL as we did previously. So I'll save that, and let's go back over to our view controller. And let's try these methods out. So I'll delete the existing code that was already there. We won't need that anymore. Same kind of thing with reading the data. So I have an artist, I have an album, and let's create another instance of an album as well. We'll just call this one album 2. Give this a value 2. And we'll call this one revolver. So on each one of these I can call save. And then to read the data, I'll have an NS array, which is my albums. And I will call album findAll. Let's just iterate through each album. Alright, so let's run the app and see what happens. So I'm going to write the data. It looks good, nothing blew up, that's a good start. And let's read it. There we go. And we can see we added these albums in the right order as well, so the last one always got added to the top of the list. So everything looks great. Our model classes are now complete and we're ready to rock. We've added our persistence methods to our album class, which will make it really convenient for us whenever we need to load and save albums. We're ready to continue on with the next lesson.